Right. And noticing what's going on in your body. Just taking moments here to check in. Taking deep inhales in through your nose and long, slow exhales out. On your exhales, releasing anything that you don't need during our time here together. And on your inhales, inhaling self compassion. So, our theme this week, during the whole week, this theme is Ahimsa, which is nonviolence in our actions, words, and thoughts towards others and also towards ourselves. Sometimes we can be really hard on ourselves. Sometimes the thoughts that we have about ourselves and the things that we say can be critical and judgmental. Sometimes we become angry or irritated with ourselves. And sometimes we can be unkind to our bodies. We may say to ourselves, I am not good enough because, or I should have, I shouldn't have. Sometimes we compare ourselves to others. We may not like a certain body part, but also we practice violence when we don't get enough sleep, rest, or enough to eat. Maybe we force ourselves into a variation of a yoga shape that doesn't feel good for us. So, how can you be kind and compassionate with yourself? As we move through our practice today, can you move with love rather than force? So, taking 2 more rounds of breath here, and then gently opening the windows of your eyes. Okay, let's find a little bit of organic movement here. So, finding some circles in your body. Maybe they're big circles, little circles. If you want, you can kind of hang out in a stretch somewhere if that feels good. And going in the opposite direction if you haven't already. Gently coming back to center. Okay, let's bring our arms out towards the sides, palms face up. On your inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, arms come down by your sides. So moving with your own breath, inhale, reaching, but allowing the shoulders to roll back and down your spine. And exhale, arms coming down. Inhale to reach, and exhale to lower. Let's do one more. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Okay, so we did this kind of yesterday, a little variation of this if you were here. Uh, so right hand's going to come to your left knee, left hand comes behind you. Inhale to lengthen your spine and exhale to turn. So I was saying earlier before we started class that I was feeling something in my mid back today. And I thought, what did we do yesterday that I could feel in my mid back? This is it. Ready? Because I did it twice yesterday. Inhale, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, leaning your body over towards that right knee. So we're going to use that right hand to help us rotate our rib cage open towards the left. Now listen to your body. If your arm hurts, bring the arm down by your side. And only rotate open as far as it feels comfortable. Okay, inhale, coming back to center. Release the twist. And then we'll come over to the other side. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to turn. So just a gentle twist. Nothing too deep just yet. So if the side bend thing doesn't feel good for you in your body, you don't have to do it. You can stay in this twist. But if you'd like to come into it, right arm reaches up towards the sky, allowing your torso to come over towards that left knee. Roll the top shoulder back and down the spine, and maybe use the left hand to gently pull yourself so you rotate open. Inhale, come back to center. All right, let's make our way into a tabletop pose. If you wish, you can use a blanket underneath your knees. So tabletop, wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. All right, Ahimsa, right? Use the blanket if you need to. Go find one if you need to. That's the good thing about being at home. Okay, and then find movements that feels good in your body. So C shape, figure eight, in and out of child's pose. What's going to feel good for you? What is your body asking for? So part of Ahimsa is honoring our body where it is at the moment and doing what we need so that we can nurture and not cause any harm. Okay, let's make our way into a child's pose. Any variation that feels good for you. It could be knees together, knees apart. Maybe arms are out long. Perhaps arms come back by your feet or hands, sorry, palms face up. And if your forehead doesn't come all the way to the earth, maybe you grab a block or a pillow, placing it under the forehead. Gently making your way back into tabletop. Curling your toes under, sending your hips up and back behind you, downward dog. Shoulders roll back and down your spine. All right, so as much of a bend in your knees as you need. Maybe you pedal out your feet. Move with love. All right, let's make our way towards the front of the mat, however it feels comfortable for you to get there, into a forward fold. So maybe you have a deep bend in your knees or maybe just a micro bend. Allowing your upper body to dangle, release any tension you feel in your neck. Maybe you find some movement here that feels good.
perhaps swaying, perhaps shaking out the head. All right, let's bring our hands to our waist. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, come on up with a flat back. Okay, so just a little bit of movement here to get us a bit warmed up before we start breaking down all the poses that are going to come all together. So finding your mountain here at the top of your mat. Feet are hip distance apart, squeeze the inner thighs, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Before I forget, if you can't hear me, I don't make sense, please come on and let me know. Okay, inhale, extended mountain, shoulders roll back and down your spine. Exhale, flat back, slight bend in the knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins or thighs, flat back. And exhale to fold. Let's take a big step back here with the left foot and dropping the left knee to the earth. Right knee is over the right ankle in line with the second or third toe. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Okay, exhale, windmilling the hands to the earth. Let's come into a tabletop pose and back into downward dog. Shifting your weight forward into a plank pose, dropping the knees to the earth, tuck the elbows in by the sides and gently lower to the ground. On your inhale, finding a baby cobra, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Elbows come by your sides, tops of the feet come down to the earth. Lift the heart. And then coming into a tabletop pose and back into downward dog. Making your way towards the front of your mat into a forward fold. Arms come out to the side, reverse swan dive up, flat back into extended mountain. And we're going to come right back down, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. This time, right foot takes a big step back and lowering the right knee to the earth. Left knee is over the ankle in line with the second or third toe. Squeeze the inner thighs as you rise. Shoulders roll back and down. Allowing your hands to come down to the earth, coming into tabletop and into downward dog. Shifting your weight forward into a plank pose, drop the knees, tuck the elbows, lower gently to the earth. We'll find a baby cobra or full cobra. Full cobra arms are by the chest. Shoulders roll back and down the spine, tuck the elbows, tops of the feet come down to the earth. Either a reverse push-up or tabletop. Downward dog. Let's pedal out the feet for a couple rounds of breath. Then making your way towards the front of your mat, forward fold. Arms come out to the side. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, so let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we are going to practice an extended mountain with a little variation. So finding your mountain pose,
We're going to bring our arms up towards the sky, shoulders roll back and down the spine. And in this extended mountain, we're going to take our right foot, cross it behind the left foot. So behind and to the side if you can. And then we're just going to find a little bit of movement here. So it's organic movement for you. You're going to reach over towards one side. Maybe the opposite arm comes down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, reach over to the other side. Again, if there's a sore arm today, feel free to leave that arm down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let's release this side. Come to mountain pose. And then extended mountain on the other side. Inhale, arms reach, shoulders roll back and down. We're going to step the left foot over towards the right side. And again, find some movement, reach over towards one side. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the other side. And inhale back to center. Release the arms, feet come back to mountain pose. Okay, so that's going to be our extended mountain or tree pose. So any variation of a tree that feels comfortable for you, but we're going to find a little movement with the tree here. So if you need a wall, feel free to grab a wall. When we move through everything, if you find balance is difficult, I invite you to find tree with toes on the floor, okay? So we'll start in mountain pose. I might be opposite of you here. So shifting your weight into your left foot. We're going to pick up the right knee to begin. And then allow the right knee to come out to the side. Find your variation here, as long as your foot isn't on your knee. Okay, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring our arms up towards the sky. And then we're going to reach over towards the right side. Maybe the right arm comes down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, reach over towards the left side. Woo. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to release. All right, so know that when we move through this later, you can come toes to the earth if that's easier for you to balance. Okay, other side. Finding mountains, squeeze the inner thighs, crown of the head's nice and tall. Shifting your weight into your right foot. Left knee comes up off. It's not on the earth. The left knee comes up. Send the left knee out. Find your variation of tree. Arms reach up towards the sky. Okay, reaching over towards the left side. Coming back to center. And then reaching over towards the right side. Okay, back to center. This is our tree. And release here. Shake out your legs if you need to. All right. So we're going to come into a warrior one. So let's come to the front of the mat. Find your mountain pose. Okay, and then we'll step the right foot back. So we want a wide stance, right foot to the right side, left foot to the left, toes point up towards the top left corner of the mat, or sorry, right corner of the mat, the right foot. Gonna bend into the front knee, check to make sure it's over the ankle in line with the second or third toe. Arms reach up high, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Okay, so our warrior one here today is going to be a little bit of a twist, kind of, sort of variation, okay? So we're gonna take the left hand and it's either gonna come to your low back or it's going to reach back for your right thigh. Right palm turns back, reach up and over. Send the tailbone down towards the floor, squeeze the inner thighs. Right. Inhale, come back to warrior one.
And exhale, step forward into your mountain. All right, other side, step back with the left foot. Toes point up towards the top left corner of the mat. So sometimes warrior one feels really uncomfortable for some people in the hips to turn. You can always come up on the toes for high lunge. It is harder for balance, but can feel a little better in the hips. Okay, so hips square towards the front of the room or front of your mat, reaching the arms up towards the sky. This time, right hand comes back, low back or back of the thigh. Send the tailbone down, squeeze the inner thighs. Perhaps you reach up and back. So even activate the glutes, squeeze everything towards center to help protect that low back. All right, inhale, come back to warrior one. Exhale, step forward into your mountain pose, shake it out if you need to. All right, a couple more things here. So let's make our way into a downward dog. So hands to the earth, stepping your feet back. Hips shift up and back behind you, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Okay, so this one you can stay in downward dog, or you can find a less scary variation here of a wild thing or a flip your dog. So up to you. We will start here by bringing the right foot up just a little bit. Reach the right leg back. And then you're going to step it over towards the outside of the left foot. So you want to step it out a bit if you can. All right. And then you're going to bend your knees, start rotating so that you shift your weight into the left hand, hips come up towards the sky. Maybe the arm reaches up or back. Again, you could be in downward dog. Let's try that on the other side. So coming into downward dog. I know it's hard to see me when you're upside down, right? So left foot crosses over towards the right side. You may have to take a big bend in that right knee in order to do that. You're going to start to pivot on your feet. There, I explained a little better. Shift your weight into your right hand. Flip over, left hand reaches up, maybe back. Send the hips up as high as you comfortably can. But remember, Ahimsa, no pain. All right, we're gonna flip back over into our downward dog. And then walking your feet forward, let's come into forward fold. All right. If you have blocks nearby, find your blocks in your forward fold. Okay, we're gonna come into standing splits. So if it's not comfortable for you, just stay in your forward fold. So blocks can be helpful to bring the floor up a little bit closer, or your hands can be on the earth if you're comfortable there in your forward fold. So we'll start, right foot reaches up and back behind you. Point the toes down towards the earth. You're gonna fold forward as far as you feel comfortable. And we're gonna find something called a yogi squat. Okay, so you're gonna slightly bend into that left knee and then pull the right leg in behind so that the right knee comes up behind the left knee. And then you straighten back out again. Squeeze the inner thigh, squeeze the glutes. Again, we'll do one more. Bend that knee. I'm sure the leg is starting to feel tired. Mine is. Right knee comes behind the left. You're gonna squat down a little bit, little bend of the knee, and then we'll come into a forward fold. All right, we'll practice that on the other side. So this is our yogi squat. Left leg comes back behind, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes, bend into that right knee, send the left knee, behind the right. Straighten the front leg, back leg comes back. And of course, it can look however you feel comfortable. If you want to come forward a little bit, you certainly can. Bend into that right knee, send the left knee behind it. Back into your standing splits, leg comes back behind you. Forward fold. Okay, hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine, come on up. All right. What do we have? We have 2 more, and then we put it all together. So we're gonna come down onto the floor. We'll come into a tabletop pose. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. You're gonna move kind of off your mat here in this one. So right leg is going to come out towards the side. And then you're gonna walk your left hand over towards the side. Let me turn so you can see, so it makes a little bit more sense. You're basically setting up for a variation of a side plank. So right leg out to the side, walk the left hand over, reach up and over. Okay, so then here's what we're going to do. You are going to go only as far as you feel comfortable. The right hand's going to come back down to the floor, and you're going to start walking your hands over. So maybe hands just come to the center. Maybe that's enough of a stretch for you, or perhaps you keep walking your hands over. Go as far as you feel comfortable, and then find a twist. Right hand stays on the earth, left arm opens up towards the sky. You could be here with the hand out in front, and that left hand goes up only as far as you feel comfortable. You could be here in your gate pose. Okay, gently bringing the left hand down, come back to center, come into your tabletop. We're gonna find the other side. So left foot comes out to the side. And you're gonna walk your hands over so the right hand comes out to the side, and you find your modified side plank here. I just said it and I forgot worse. Okay. And then left hand comes down to the earth, walk. Maybe your hands towards center, or maybe they keep moving over close to that left foot. Wherever you are, find your twist. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. All right, right hand comes down to the earth, come back to center, into tabletop, and into child's pose. Okay, so we're gonna put it all together. I'm gonna kind of pause here the recording. Let me start the recording. Come into tabletop, curl your toes under, come back into downward dog. And then make your way towards the front of your mat. Arms come out to the side, reverse swan dive up, extended mountain, and exhale, hands come down by your sides. All right, so we put it all together. So if you use blocks, make sure they're by the front of your mat. So we'll do everything on one side and then everything on the other. Okay, so finding your mountain pose. Squeeze the inner thighs, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Crown of your head reaches nice and high. We're gonna start with the right side. So inhale, arms reach up, extended mountain. And then bringing the right foot over towards the left side. So you're crossing behind the left foot. Reach over towards the right side. Maybe that left hand comes down. Come back to center. And then over towards the left side. Coming back to center. Okay, and then we're going to, find a tree pose. Sorry. So right knee comes forward. Find your variation of a tree. So right knee's out to the side. And then allowing your arms to come over towards the right side. Maybe that right hand comes down to the knee. Back to center and over to the left. Back to center. Bring that right knee forward. And then take a big step back into your warrior one or high lunge. Arms reach up towards the sky. Squeeze the inner thighs, send the tailbone down. Left hand comes behind. Perhaps you open your heart up towards the sky. Inhale, come back up. Warrior one. Exhale, windmilling your hands down towards the earth. We're going to step back into a downward dog. So this is where we find our wild thing. We're going to cross the right foot over towards the left side. You may have to take a bend in that left knee. Pivot on your feet. Shift your weight into the left hand. Find kind of like a reverse table. Maybe you send your hips up. Maybe the arm reaches up or back. Move with love. Only do what's comfortable. Take a break if you need to. All right, slowly making your way back into your downward dog. And then into tabletop, gently dropping the knees to the earth. And we'll find a few cat cows here around the spine. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Move in the opposite direction. Tailbone comes up towards the sky. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Just move at your own pace. Take your time. Come back into your tabletop. And this is where we find our modified side plank. So right foot out towards the side. Walk your hands over towards the left side. Left hand is on the earth under the shoulder. Right arm reaches up, maybe over. Gently bringing that right hand down towards the earth and start to make your way over to either center or to the right. Right hand is on the earth. Left hand comes up. All right, making your way back into your tabletop pose. All right, stepping the right foot forward. Come up here into a runner's lunge. Knee comes up off the earth. If you need to, find your blocks. We're going to come into standing split. Shift your weight into the right foot. Left foot comes up as far as you comfortably can get it. And here we find our yogi squat. Maybe you're just in forward fold, wherever you need to be. Bend the right knee, left knee comes back behind that right sit or squat. Extending that leg long behind you once again. Find your squat, bend that knee, left knee behind the right. Extend the left leg. Let's find forward fold. Arms come out to the side. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. All right, shoulders roll back and down the spine, other side. Left foot crosses behind the right, over to the side. Bringing your arms over towards the right side. Maybe that right arm comes down. Inhaling to center. Exhaling to the left.
Inhale to center. Let's bring that left knee out in front. And then find your variation of a tree. We're going to find that sway here. This time, left hand comes down towards that left leg, right arm reaches over. Inhaling to center and exhaling over to the other side. Inhale to center. Bring the knee out in front. And then take a big step back into your warrior one or high lunge. Squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes, send the tailbone down. Where we hear right hand comes back behind you, maybe to that back thigh. Turn the palm back. Perhaps you open your heart up towards the sky. Keep everything in the lower body active to protect your low back. All right, inhale back to your warrior one. And exhale, hands come down to the earth, step back into downward dog. We're going to flip our dog here. So left foot crosses over towards the right side, maybe bending into that right knee. Pivoting on your feet. Coming into the right arm. Maybe the hips come up towards the sky. Slowly make your way back into your downward dog. Shifting your weight forward, let's drop to tabletop and find some cat-cow. Again, just move nice and slow, take your time, move with love. So our modified side plank, coming to table, left leg comes out to the side, walking your arms over to the right, right hand comes under the shoulder, left arm reaches up, maybe over. Okay, and see if you can go nice and graceful. Left arm starts to make its way down and you start to shift over either towards the center or all the way over to the left. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. All right, gently making your way back to center if you aren't already there, into tabletop. And then we're going to send the left foot forward. Curl the back toes under, lift the knee. Maybe you find your blocks, shift your weight forward into that left foot, right foot reaches up towards the sky, standing splits or forward fold. 2 yogi squats here, bend a little bit into the left knee, send the right knee behind the left. Straighten back out, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes. Into your yogi squat. Stretching everything back out, standing splits. Right foot meets the left, forward fold. And on your next inhale, reverse swan dive up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. That's it. I don't have a name for that. It's that flow that we just did, okay? And it's already time to cool down, ready? So I feel like we need a bit of a twist on the earth. So let's come down onto the floor, onto our backs. So feet are on the earth, knees are bent. Okay, your choice. So how can you twist with love?
what variation of a twist feels the best for you. If you wish, you can follow me or find your own. So arms out into a T, pushing your feet into the earth. Pick up and shift your hips over to the left. Drop them to the earth. Legs drop over to the right. Perhaps you look to the left. Maybe you're in your own twist. So as you're here in your twist, remember that throughout our practice, we were all here together virtually, moving with love. All right, so when this side feels complete for you, we're going to come back to center, reposition the back on the earth, and then come over to the other side, shifting the hips to the right, knees drop to the left, maybe looking to the right. Do you need to restack your knees? Do you prefer to cross your legs? Once this side feels complete for you, coming back over onto your back, reposition your back flat on the earth. Okay, what last thing can you do before we come into Shavasana that honors your body? What do you need? Find whatever movement or shape that is. Moving into this pose or shape peacefully. Once this feels complete for you, finding any variation of Shavasana that feels good on the earth. Could be feet together, knees apart, whatever feels right. Taking deep inhales in through your nose. Long, slow exhales out. So again, Ahimsa, non-violence to others and to ourselves in our actions, our words, and our thoughts. Is there something you can say to yourself now that you need to hear? Something kind, something honest, something peaceful.
Gently bringing your awareness back into the room. Making some movements here in your body. And peacefully, with love, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then making your way up to seated. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. I invite you to bring your hands to heart center and bow your head towards your hands. Take this opportunity to honor yourself for showing up to practice today and for just trying, no matter what happened. And I honor all of you for being here today and sharing your practice with me and with each other. Have a beautiful evening.